Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, Carol has been dreaming about her next-door neighbor, a woman who's everything that she's not. Sexy, promiscuous, into drugs and alcohol and all those wild parties, and is also dead. Tonight's movie, A Lizard in a Woman's Skin.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, the place where horror never ends, the place where horror never ends. Yes, it's a year of cuts, guts and sluts, a year of cuts, guts and sluts. Yes, a year that's full of cuts and guts and sluts. I sincerely apologize for that previous moment. Oh my goodness. Anyways, tonight, I am going to review a movie by the legendary Lucio Fulci. Yes, another Lucio Fulci movie. Honestly, I think his giallos are quite underrated. Yes, everyone knows Lucio Fulci for the gore, zombie, throat-ripping awesomeness, but yeah, you know what? He's so much more than just that. Anyways, so this movie is maybe regarded as one of his best, and that is Lizard in a Woman's Skin. So what is Lizard in a Woman's Skin about? Well, it starts off with this woman whose name is Carol, and she is in a train, and she's in the section where they have the personal compartments and the personal passenger compartments, and there's a very narrow space, and she's trying to get away from something or someone, who knows, and she's knocking on doors, trying to open doors, and nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden that narrow space is now filled with train passengers, and she's just kind of weaving through them, pushing through them, still afraid, still trying to get away from something, and then all of a sudden that train turns into just a narrow corridor, and those people turn from passengers into naked people who are now engaged in all kinds of orgy-like stuff, and she's just trying to weave through them, and lo and behold, she finds herself in this bedroom where a beautiful blonde woman basically undresses her, and sexy time happens, and boom! Carol wakes up from the dream, nightmare, whatever. Anyways, apparently the focus of that dream is her next door neighbor, who is a very swinging, hot time, drug-taking party girl. I mean, she just throws these parties where everyone's just orgifying the place and doing drugs and being very loud. And of course, Carol is more like, straight-laced, I'm not that kind of girl. Anyways, so when the neighbor ends up being murdered, and murdered in a way that is specifically really similar to one of Carol's dreams, well, the investigation into that murder starts to twist and turn throughout not just Carol, but her family and her husband and friends and other people, and you just start to wonder, like, who could have done it? Why would they do it? And all this stuff, and deliciously mysterious murder mystery ensues, where things aren't quite as what you think they are, and there are dastardly, devious people trying to do dastardly, devious things during the course of the story. So let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore, I am going to give this a 3 out of 5. There is a fair amount of blood, but there's also like creepy, like face weirdness. I don't know if it's more like decomposition, whatever. The thing is, like, in the dreams, man, things are really weird and messed up. But yeah, there's like the main murder is pretty violent and pretty graphic in a way. It's not really a lot of cutaway going on there, and there is some nice stabby goodness in this movie, but also there is a scene. Sorry, getting a little choked up. In this movie, and I'll talk about it a little bit more in the shock value section, but definitely pumps up this Gore score up a bit. So 3 out of 5. Moving on to shock value, I'm going to give this a very solid 4 out of 5, and a lot of that score has to do with this particular scene in the hospital mental institution place that just like, what is going on here? Holy shit. I mean, it's done in practical effects, which is very, very amazing. And let's just say it definitely hits you hard and is unexpected and is really creepy. But also the twists and turns of the story and the shocking reveals toward the end also add to that score. But man, yeah, there's that scene. Holy shit. Just fuck. Anyways, 4 out of 5. Plot, I am going to give this a very strong 4 out of 5. At the beginning, you're just kind of not knowing what's going on because of the dream and other things, and you're not sure of like what the structure of the movie is. But after that beginning, after that first act, it is a really damn good murder mystery giallo with nice thrill and suspense through it. And it really does a great job with its narrative, keeping you off balance, keeping you suspicious of almost everyone, and yet pointing you in certain directions while secretly hiding some information that really will change things for you. And in the end, it's the final reveal is not only logical, but highly satisfying and pretty cool. So very strong 4 out of 5. Acting, I'm also going to give this a very strong 4 out of 5. Yeah, some of the hippie characters were quite annoying, especially that guy who confessed to the crime. Oh my god, that was pretty well. But man, I really do love the performance of the main detective. He did a great job. He did have a pretty commanding presence. I actually like the guy who played the husband. I thought he was great. The father of Carol, he was really good. Carol herself, sometimes in these giallos, the women can be a little bit overwrought, a little bit too much. But I think she did a really good job of being confused and being, on the edge of like losing it because of the situations happening to her. So yeah, it was very well done. 4 out of 5. Moving on to Nudity, and Nudity is getting the full blast 5 out of 5. Toward the end, yes, there's not a lot of that going on toward the end, but in the beginning, it is a whole lot of body parts, and yeah, basically the first 2 acts of the film, there's quite a bit. Well, maybe first 1.5 acts, I don't know. There's quite a bit. There's quite a bit of loveliness and beauty and sexiness, and you definitely get an eye full, and it is quite packed in there. So yeah, 5 out of 5. Moving on to enjoyment factor, I am going to give this a 5 out of 5 because it is a giallo that checks so many boxes. Yes, there's some violence and some gore in there. There's that crazy, just nuts scene in the hospital. Holy shit! So there's shocking moments. It's got a very interesting plot that keeps you engaged, keep you guessing, and at the end just kind of almost blows you away. And so yeah, it's great. It's up there. It's probably considered a classic, and it deserves it. And really, possibly, yeah, one of his best works, if not the best. I mean, The Psychic is up there, but maybe like the total package, this one outdoes it. So anyways, 5 out of 5 for enjoyment factor, and my overall impression is going to be a 5 out of 5. It's probably outside of Argento's work, and maybe even inside of Argento's work, one of the best, well-constructed giallos in existence, just across the board. Almost every aspect of this movie is really hitting it quite well, from the violence to the shocks to the acting to the plot to the nudity. Everything is just hitting all the right spots in all the right areas. Not a perfect film, but damn it, it's practically there. And I mean, it's wonderful. 4K when? 4K when, my friends? Come on. Anyways, it's also, you know, a lot of times, you know, people talk about Argento and his eye and his shots, and sometimes Lucio Fulci doesn't get that credit. And yes, you know, sometimes it's kind of played, but I think his shots and his style in this movie really show off some really interesting effect, not just effects, but just interesting look and aesthetic. I mean, like the scenes with like the person answering the phone at the was the breakfast or whatever, that scene where they kind of have them like half and half. You know, it's hard to describe without showing. So, I mean, I'll just take my word for it. It is a sight to see also for the eye. So, great movie, 5 out of 5, highly recommended. You gotta watch this, especially if you like Fulci and you like giallos. And yeah, if you're looking for a complete throat-ripping gore fest, yeah, it's not going to be that, though. You're probably going to appreciate the scene in the hospital, though, a bit. But yeah, it's that great. It's that great. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful film, and highly recommended. And that averages out to a super impressive 4.3 out of 5. I mean, you know, you have to be doing some spectacular things to get an average score that's above 4 in my rating. So, I mean, kudos. So anyways, tell me what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? What you think about the movie? All that good stuff. And thank you once again for watching another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. And don't forget to do all that stuff about blah blah, subscribe, rate, bell, ring, crap. Anyways, and until next time, I want you, internet, to remain scary. Stay sexy, stay all that stuff. And also, my friends, if you're gonna go meet some, I guess, shady people in a shady place, don't go alone and bring weapons. I'm just saying, shady people and shady places generally lead to shady things happening. I'm just saying, and you might want to be a little cognizant of that and protective of that, and, not have to rely on your escape abilities, or maybe a police sniper to keep you from getting murked. I'm just saying. Anyways, stay scary, internet.